Hi everyone, this is Ray from our Bolton Pet Plan location. And in this video, I'm going to try and explain machine learning in an extremely simple way. This is a slide that I put together for you guys. You can download it from the link below the post. Machine learning has been around for quite a while. Recently, we've seen a massive surge online with viral videos of new AI bots and new cool little pieces of kit that use machine learning. The concept behind it is basically to be able to ask a question to a machine. The machine then will decide what that question means and acts accordingly. The whole basis of machine learning is based around the quality of data that the brain understands. The way that we train a machine to actually learn and understand what we're talking about is by using something called the reinforcement learning cycle. The concept is we ask a question and initially we teach the bot what the expected answer is. The bot then learns this and processes it using a complicated algorithm. The most common programming language for machine learning is Python. We're not going to talk about that today. Once the bot has learned the desired response, we then proceed to add more data. And we keep asking similar questions. For example, the first time I could say, "What's the weather like in Toronto, Canada?" We would then teach the bot that the word weather relates to the temperature and the current climate in a certain area of the world. And the word Toronto was actually the place and location that we wanted to find out the weather about. So when I said, "What's the weather like in Toronto?" then it would know weather and Toronto are related to each other, and therefore it would learn and store that in its brain. So whenever I ask a similar question and say, "What's the weather like in London?" the reinforcement learning cycle would say, "Well, I know what weather means, but I don't know what the rest mean." However, the structure of this sentence follows the exact same pattern as one I already understand. When you ask for the weather in Toronto, I can assume that London is the location that you actually want to learn about. And then as we proceed to add more and more and more places, then the system becomes more intelligent and it understands in other variations of the sentence that the word London or Toronto is an actual location in the real world. The next part of the reinforcement learning cycle is then to validate the correct response that the bot suggests is a required action. So if we say, "What's the weather like in Tokyo?" or "What time is it in Tokyo?" it will have a confidence rating that Tokyo is a place. And once I validate that, that's a correct response. The bot, it will then proceed to run this back through the learning environment algorithm and learns the new correct response. And the confidence level will increase, and therefore the brain will become more intelligent. So it's a simple state of repeat and repeat and educating the bot. But it's only as good as the data, and we have to balance the data. For example, if 80% of my questions are, "What's the weather like in a different location?" if I suddenly ask how many people live in Toronto, then the immediate response will be, "Oh, I know what Toronto is," and it will proceed to give me either the weather or the time in that area. So in order to get valid data and reasonable, reliable output from the reinforcement learning cycle, we need to ensure that we ask a similar amount of questions for each different response. So if we wanted to ask 50 times what the weather was like in a different location in an ideal world, We would also ask what the time is in the different locations about 50 times. So the balance between the bot's brain are equal and one area doesn't outlay the other, ensuring that we get the correct action and response. And this is the reinforcement learning cycle in a nutshell. Thank you for watching this video and hope you have a great day.